Alright, who could let me know when we're gonna be done with these masks? Welcome to Kyle's Take. Let's talk about these COVID masks. I have a little thought in my head about when it's gonna be over, but when are they gonna officially put out a statement that no longer needed, not a requirement? Been going on with March, April, May, June, July. I'm seeing videos where people are running up and ganging up on people for not wearing masks. They're screaming at them until they leave the store. Like, this is madness. Is this supposed to go on for the rest of our lives? We just live our life behind the mask? I can't do that. It's summertime right now. We can't go to the beaches. We can't go to whatever events you like to do in the summer. We can't go to fireworks because that's a whole other discussion topic. But now they're telling us that we have to wear a mask almost indefinitely. Some places are the cases are going up, but the deaths are not spiking up. New York was an anomaly. New York, the only reason why it got to that level in New York is because they live differently. They don't live out. They build up. So you can have a 20, 30, 40-story building housing hundreds, if not thousands of families, whereas you go some places in Minnesota, well, let's not say Minnesota, Montana or Wyoming, you're going to get one family on maybe 50 or 60 acres of land. So they're not going to have the case rate that New York would have. Even Florida, we're going to see Florida go up, but I don't think that they're going to have the death rate that New York had because New Yorkers live differently. You live very close to each other. Everyone is close quarter living. According to some healthcare professionals, they think it's better if we don't wear masks and expose ourselves and allow our immune systems to build up. That's how we fight off the second wave. It's not by sterilizing everything and wearing masks and gloves every time you go outside. Guess what? You're going to end up dying from a common cold if you keep on doing that. Keep it up. That's my take on the COVID. Wearing masks, I'm done with it. I mean, if someplace tells me to wear a mask, they don't need my money. I can just go somewhere else. That's the beauty about capitalism. I can go somewhere else and spend my money. I don't need to take it to Trader Joe's. I see lines all outside the door, lined up, social distancing 6 feet apart, even in the lines outside the store. Why would I go spend my money? I mean, I don't even shop at Trader Joe's, but why would I spend my money when you're making me do all that stupidness? That's nah. With the firearms owners going up, because we've seen concealed carry weapons go up. We've seen firearms applications altogether going up. So we can hope that some of these legislations will be reversed. Now, why do I think firearms sales are going up? Well, all you have to do is look outside or look at the real news and you can see what's going on. But let's get into a little bit. You have home break-ins. You have these that are happening around the country, especially if you lived in that Seattle chop zone. You also have businesses being broken into around the country. So these business owners need to defend their property, need to defend their businesses. Some of them have invested their whole life savings. Everything that they have, they've put into that business. And they're not going to just have people come in and take it down because they didn't get their way or they just feel like throwing a tantrum. Doesn't happen that way. The same ones that bought firearms for their homes, now they're looking to get firearms for when they leave the home because they understand that the times we're in, I mean, you don't know. You could be walking down the street and because you're a certain color or not a certain color based on what they want you to believe, you can be attacked. So we're seeing concealed carry weapons going up for when those same people want to take their firearms out of the house. I don't see a problem with it because you're hearing these attacks. We know attacks, even before the climate that we were in, we know these attacks happen every single day, whether they're documented or not. So I can appreciate people taking interest in their safety and getting prepared. We're also seeing people as they're driving being attacked. I saw a story. A man was in a truck and I can't remember if he actually ended up passing away or if he was just injured, but I believe a BLM protester came up to his truck on the passenger side window and fired into the truck. I don't know what the situation was, but anywhere, you could be driving down the street and be being attacked by these protesters. You can be blocked off. We've seen that they blocked off, police firefighters, ambulance. We've seen them block them off. They will block off people. All right, so the final thing I'm going to get into to go along with the increase in firearm ownership, this one's for the ladies. I'm going to give the top 10 firearms purchased by women in 2019. Now, I'm not a firearms expert. I'm not a firearms salesman. I don't claim to be. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know any of that. I'm just saying, based on this study I found, I feel like I should put this information out there for the women. At number 10, we have the Sig Sauer P320. This is going to be a modular type of firearm, so it's going to be able to switch between the full size, mid size, and compact. Okay, this is typically, as far as I know, going to be a 9mm. At number 9, we have the Ruger LCP 380. This is going to be a 380 ACP. I don't know much about them, but from what I have heard is that they're kind of snappy and they're not fun to shoot all day at the range. Now, can it save your life when you needed it to? Of course, definitely. So, LCP 380 coming in at number 9. Number 8 is going to be the Glock 43X 9mm. And it only comes in a 9mm, but it's going to be Glock's, the second generation of the Glock 43, but it's going to be with the extended grip, and it's able to take 10 rounds, as opposed to the Glock 43's 6 rounds. Number 7, Ruger SR22 chambered in .22 long rifle. Now, this is going to be a firearm that's going to have very low recoil. It's going to be good for people that don't have the hand dexterity and the strength that some bigger calibers would warrant. I've heard good reviews on them. I've heard people more use them for fun, plinking out at the range, doing things like that, but they definitely can be used for self-defense. I mean, any firearm can be used for self-defense. Number 6, we have the Sig Sauer P238, chambered in either 380 ACP or 9mm. This is going to be a hammer-fired firearm. This is going to typically come in 9 or 380. They're going to be on the smaller size. That has its benefits and its fallbacks. So you're going to have to take everything for what it is and do your research on it and see whichever one works for you. Number 5, we have the Glock 19 9mm. It's going to be Glock's mid-size to their 9mm lineup. It is one of the most used, bought firearms in America. I think it's around 65% of law enforcement uses this firearm. It has very good reliability. I'm going to sound like a lot of people that, rely on Glocks because from what I hear, they have a pretty good reputation. Number 4, we have the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield in 9mm. This is going to be one of the firearms that from the time it came out, it has taken off. It's been out for a few years now. There's 2 generations of it. I know a few people with it. That is their concealed carry. And I mean, I've not heard anything bad about them. So I see why women chose to buy them in 2019. Getting to our top 3. At number 3, we're going to have the Glock 43 in 9mm. We spoke about the Glock 43X earlier. This is going to be the smaller first generation. This is going to be a single stack subcompact firearm. So it's going to be very small. When you put it next to other firearms I've named on this list, it's going to be on the smaller side. I've heard good reviews on them. They're very reliable. They come with the Glock stamp of approval, according to many people in the firearm industry. So that might be one to consider. To our top 2. At number 2, we're going to have the Sig Sauer P365, chambered in 9mm. This was the front runner for the subcompact until recently when a couple other manufacturers are putting their bid into that category. But the Sig Sauer, after they got after they got rid of some of their mistakes and some of the, putting out a new product, the kinks and glitches, they've been reliable, and that's been the consensus that I've been able to gather. Number one, and I see why it came in at number one for the ladies, it's going to be the Smith & Wesson M&P EZ Shield chambered in 380 ACP. This is going to be the 380 rendition of the M&P Shield. Okay, now what's special about this firearm is it says in the name, is easy, meaning it makes it very easy to rack the slide and manipulate the firearm, which can be some of the hardest things for women, older people, some people with hand, wrist, arm problems. This is going to be a better choice for them to feel confident with. That's my top 10 firearms for women purchased in 2019. As firearm ownership is going up, I'm hoping that everyone is making safe decisions. All right, so you give me your take. What do you think about these masks? When do you think that we'll be able to go back to regular life? When do you think that we won't have to wear masks to do simple things when most people are wearing the mask with their nose sticking out? You're not even wearing it the right way. You're probably going to catch it if you didn't already have it, which most Americans probably did. And also, firearm ownership going up. I mean, over 100% from last year. What do you think that means for this country as we move forward in terms of firearm legislation? And then, ladies, you tell me, which firearm are you thinking about getting? Or which firearm do you have? Or how long have you been into firearms? Or which way do you prefer to carry? Because I'm sure that a lot of new ladies would like to know which way they should carry, what's the best way to carry, the best gear and all of that type of stuff. So leave in the comments below, please. Like, share, all that.